Welcome everyone to Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time.
None of that affects how you are going to change the world.
That's right.
No, it does not take one person to change the world, but it takes one person to believe in themselves.
Yes.
That they can make a difference.
I love
to
that.
Inspire others.
And that's why, for me, I try to make it my purpose now to try to help other people realize their self-worth.
Yeah.
Because it's so sad that so many of us, we get destroyed based off of what other people have to say.
Yeah.
I would say do it in your own way. Make sure you're doing it on your own accord and take a risk.
Go out there and live your life passionately. Believe in everything that you're doing and believe in the fact that you will accomplish every single goal. Welcome everyone to Our Unity, a show that wishes to spread a spirit of peace and love in the world, one conversation at a time. We want to encourage you to step into your power. You got to own it, my friends. Walk it, live it, breathe it. It is time for you to live in your greatness. It is what God intended for our lives, and it's no more time for us to be afraid, for us to shrink within ourselves, for us to have doubt, for us to live in fear. It is time for us to rise up and actually live the life that we were destined to live. I am your host, LaShawn Walker. I'd like to welcome you in. Please like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we are on right now. Oh my God, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. It's beautiful outside. The sun is shining lately. I'm telling you, I am just so full of excitement, not only for today, this amazing show with this fabulous woman, but because so much is going on outside right now. The birds are chirping, the flowers are blooming, the sun is radiating, and I have so much going on in my life right now that I'm also excited about. So I'm going to share a little bit with you guys, but I hope that you all are feeling blessed. I hope that you all are feeling happy and joyful for what this season is going to bring and what you are going to do to contribute to that joy and happiness. It's all within us. As I mentioned earlier, it's about stepping into our power. Let's live it, breathe it, just be it in every way that you possibly can. So again, I want you to like, share, and follow. Let everyone know that we're on right now. Please also subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've seen you guys. I'm not going to lie. This month started off too quick. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared, but I am enjoying every second and moment of it now. And the last couple of weeks, I've been very busy. Last weekend, right before Easter, the beautiful Easter holiday, the resurrection of our Lord and Savior, I was out with my friends who I share in a ministry called D&P, Discipleship and Prayer with Michelle. We decided to go out this past Saturday and feed and seed. When I say that, I mean we fed the less fortunate. I'm not going to call them homeless. I'm just going to call them less fortunate. There were people out in Jamaica that were just in need of a word, in need of some food, and need of some encouragement. And our little team was able to supply just that. We were able to feed the amazing people that just looked like they needed a good meal. And after that, we prayed over them. We encouraged them. We had conversation with them. We had tears and hugs. It was just an amazing, incredible experience. My spirit was so filled, and it made me realize that people weren't just hungry for food, but they were hungry for the word of God. They were hungry to know that there is greater and better out there for them. No matter what they were going through, by the time we were done with them, they were ready to tackle anything that was in their way. And it filled my heart. It filled my spirit. It made me realize why I'm actually here. And it's not just to, lift you up and tell you how good you look all the time. It's literally about pouring into you the greatness of which you are and who instilled that in you and how you can accomplish it. And that's what we did this past weekend. The crew that I am down with, and I'm going to say that, yeah, you heard me say the crew I am down with is amazing. Some spectacular women that are just out there in their own right doing some amazing things. So we were able to share our hearts with those out there that were in need, even those that didn't even realize they needed a word. They were happy that they received it. So it was beautiful. And I advise you guys to do the same. Pick a day, just one day out of your busy schedule, and contribute to the happiness of someone else's life. I'm not saying to go and buy a whole bunch of food. You can pack up 5 or 10 sandwiches and just walk amongst the people in your area that looks like they're in need, that is dealing with issues, and just share a kind word with them. Show them your smile and your light. I'm telling you, it will definitely make a difference. It made a difference in mine. So then Sunday, as you know, everybody went to church. It was beautiful. I was filled with the Spirit. You know, that's actually how I do and what I do. But I also wanted to share with you guys what I have coming up this Saturday. It is Your Our Unity's 4th annual prom giveaway. I have been dashing all over Long Island, Queens, and anywhere I get a phone call to pick up donations for this amazing event that is happening this Saturday, the 26th at Sewanaka High School. So I advise all of you out there that knows a senior, a young man or woman who is graduating this year, to invite them down to the prom giveaway. It is going to be amazing, spectacular. They're going to have so many things to choose from. We have accessories, shoes. We have beautiful outfits that were donated by some amazing people in my life. So I really, really implore you guys to go out there and invite any teen that you have graduating this season. So, as I mentioned in the beginning of the show, it's about stepping into your power. I know a lot of you say out there, you know, you don't know my life. You don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what I've been through. Actually, if you're not dead and you still going through it, you still got time to get through it. So you have to take the time and the effort to own your greatness. We all have it in us. We just have to nourish it. We have to hone it. We've got to live it and breathe it, as I've been mentioning. So it's time that we, at this moment, especially during what's going on in this world and how it's infecting and impacting so many, own the power within us and allow ourselves to share that energy with those around us. So I have an amazing guest, the fabulous Miss Francois, who has been here before. I think about 2 years ago. At that time, she was just really embarking on this journey of greatness. She's a fabulous woman in her own right, dynamic, and she is a go-getter. But back then, she was sharing with us how she was going through this journey and what her dreams and her plans were. Well, when I tell you, this woman is on fire, and I am so excited to bring her back so she can share with us exactly what she's gone through, how she was able to get there, and how we can learn how to do it too. So the title of the show is Step Into Your Power. And we will be speaking to the beautiful Miss Francois, the unstoppable and unforgettable Miss Francois. Is a dynamic entertainer, humorous keynote speaker, coach, best-selling author, and undeniable trendsetter. A bold force of nature, she empowers women everywhere to own their greatness and live unapologetically. As the founder of Thriving Goddesses, she has built a transformative movement that helps women heal from heartbreak, rediscover their true identity, and confidently step into their next chapter with strength, grace, and fearless joy. A TEDx speaker, Toastmasters award winner, and the best-selling author of Women Building Empires, Lights, Cameras, Launch, and Let That Man Go, Miss Francois brings over 25 years of leadership experience into everything she does. Her dedication to service includes board leadership at the Cross Island YMCA and partnerships with organizations like Aim High, EI, and I Am Dad. She leads with a lifetime of passion, purpose, and unstoppable power. Known for her magnetic energy, raw authenticity, and contagious humor, Miss Francois isn't just here to motivate you, she's here to ignite the fire within you. So get ready, because when Miss Francois speaks, you won't just listen, you will rise. So please help me welcome the beautiful Miss Francois. How are you, gorgeous?
Well, I must say, yes. Girl, I need to take that bio. I need to frame it. I mean, you got it right. I'm not doing the humble thing, because I always tell people if they look up the word humble, it's not at all positive. So I own that.
Yes.
I accept that. I receive it.
Yes.
And thank you for having me again.
Girl, you are living it. You really, really are. I'm going to tell you again, she's been on the show before. Beautiful woman. Spoke about your journey from even just arriving here in the United States, all that you had to go through. I can't open my Instagram anymore without this lady's face being the first picture that I see. And do you know why? Because she's here and she's there and she's all around the world and yeah.
That's good. That's a good thing. I mean, I'm doing something, right? So that's awesome.
Oh God, you are. It's so good.
And I know with that, when you do what you love, and you don't know who is watching.
Yeah.
And so many things has happened that even if someone don't click like on your Instagram or click follow, people are watching.
Oh, they're watching. They have no choice but to watch. She's literally on your feed, and I'm sure with 20 different posts, but they're all needed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not just dropping fairy tales. You
Yeah.
are dropping real life. You are dropping what your journey is, and you're sharing with us how we can walk that same journey and get through whatever you went through as well.
And I appreciate
you know what I
that.
mean?
It's
With
nice to be acknowledged. It's nice to
No.
be seen.
No, it's amazing. And you're
Yeah.
right, it is. That's the thing. It is nice to be seen. All of us have the power within us. It's just us seeing it as well. And then once we own that, others will be able to see it.
And I think somebody might look at my Instagram and be like, oh my God, it's the whole comparison thing. Well, I want to be like her. How did she do it? And I come to the realization, it's not the part that the comparison could steal your joy, but the comparison could actually teach you to go to the next level.
Yes.
So, because sometimes you see someone, oh, but I wanted to do that. Oh, I had that idea, but someone else executed. Maybe this will put that spark and a little fire under you for you to continue to focus on what your dreams were. Because a lot of times I want to do that, but then we do nothing about it. And then don't understand why we're not anywhere in life.
Exactly. And then get mad when somebody else did it and going to be all envious and jealous.
That was my idea.
Use that as fuel.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a beautiful person, if it's a person that has kindness and love in their heart. You're not doing it to be showy. You know what I mean? You're not doing it to be boisterous. You're doing it because you are definitely living the plan that you set out to do. And how dare you be upset with me for actually executing it?
100%.
You know?
And that's because they're deflecting because that something's missing in their life.
Yes.
So they had to project some kind of negativity. That's why they always say be conscious of who you tell your dreams to.
Yeah.
Oh, you sure you want to do that? But you was never good at that. Like, it's amazing the negativity that comes with all of that. So you have to be so conscious.
Yeah.
And I'm all about around the right people. Sometimes you can't help it because sometimes it's your friends and your family members, sometimes your co-workers.
Yeah.
But again, I would say no one is saying to get rid of those people. But once you continue to excel, you're gonna attract other people.
Yep.
And people always say, but I had this friend for 20 years and 30 years. That's wonderful.
Yes.
But you will see how easy people naturally fall off and separate.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm never saying it's gonna be easy and it's not gonna hurt. But for you to get to the next level, when you want to run that 9th mile, that 10th mile, there's going to be people there running the 13th mile. You're going to catch up to them and you're going to be so amazed at the newness, the brightness, and the possibilities.
Yes.
And then you don't even look back at the person on the 2nd mile.
That's it. And I've said that so many times. I'm not saying to cut them out completely, but I'm limit the availability that you have with certain people,
and build boundaries around certain things, you know,
and try to learn something new. That is what we're designed to do as well. We can't stay stuck in the same place and think we're going to get anywhere.
Because I think people are, because I love personal development, right? And I love growing. How much time people say if you don't grow, you're gonna die. It's just like a plant. You gotta water it. You have to get the right things, the fertilizer, whatever you might need. But a lot of times, do you know they say the average American only read like 1 book a year, if so much, right?
Yes.
And I read like, sometimes I even tell myself, oh, I'm a nerd or whatever. And I was like, I'm a sexy nerd. But there's nothing wrong with being a nerd.
Yes, you're right about that.
It's all about learning and oh my, and it's just so much to learn. Like on average, I read about 22 books a year, and that's between hard copy, that's between Audible, Kindle. But I love the learning, and that's not even including the podcasts and the events that I go to, the people that you meet along the way. It definitely pushes you and pulls you to that next level. And I think people are hurting themselves by not giving themselves permission.
You're absolutely right. I think learning does not stop. And you guys need to realize that learning and growing does not stop once you graduate from school. You know what I mean?
Because people rush on, oh, as soon as I finish school, like that's it. Like really?
I don't have to read another book.
That's when the learning starts.
That's
when
right.
you finish school.
That's right.
Okay? Because there's so much more responsibilities and so much things going to happen. You'll kind of miss those school days, to be honest. Sometimes I look back, I'm like, oh, that was, that nice little environment over here.
Yeah.
Now you have all this to work through.
You are absolutely right. Well, as I have said, you are fabulous.
Thank you. And
she's fabulous. So, we often talk because there's so many women out there that, have gained the knowledge as you have, as well as myself, who are empowering. That's new buzzword. It's empower women. We've got to lift each other up. We have to strengthen us. What do you do differently? Because again, everyone is doing this right now. Everyone is building these platforms where we're trying to speak to every other woman who has gone through something similar to ourselves. Tell us about what it means to live unapologetically, and tell me, how are you doing it different?
Okay, so one thing with living unapologetically, right, is this might sound so simple, but just being able to be yourself. I've been told, especially from the background where my 9 to 5 is sometimes you're too much, you're too happy, you do too much, you need to tone it down. And there were times that I did try to turn it down, but if you're not being your authentic self, it's going to come out at some point. Even in relationships, you have to do this, you have to learn this trick in order to get the man, and then you can be yourself. That makes no sense. And that was a struggle, because when you keep having people tell you what you're supposed to do, after a while you start to believe it. But when I realized I don't feel good with myself. So I need to be who I am. And that when you're really as comfortable in your own skin, nothing seems impossible.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So that's definitely one thing I would say, is just being able to be your authentic self. Because even when I think back in times I was conscious of my accent, or where I'm from, I don't sing a certain way, so people mightn't take me as serious, or I mightn't sing as smart. And look, this is Wally again. I trip from Trinidad. All I go get this accent, and all I go figure it out.
That's love.
Right?
I love it. Oh my God.
I want to say, when it comes to empowering and what I might be doing differently, like when it comes to keynote speaking, because everybody's a keynote speaker, everybody's an author, but it's what you, like you said, what you're doing differently. I'm a humorous keynote speaker. I bring the humor. How many times you heard anyone say I'm a humorous keynote speaker? No time, okay? So that makes me one of a kind. It's only one Miss Francois, MSS, multi-talented and super sexy. And what you see is exactly what you get in 24 hours a day. So I bring the humor, and I think a lot of people are missing that. Yes, a lot of times it's serious topics, but I can't, oh my God, how much time I'll get up in the morning, cry, feel sad for myself, then tell 10 other friends about my sad story and hope somebody gonna feel bad about. No, they're just glad it's not them anyway. Right? So my thing is, when you add some humor, I always tell people, look up humor, look up laughter. You wouldn't even need to have medical anymore from your job.
You're absolutely right.
Because it's healing, it creates connections, it's a painkiller.
It disarms people. They want to receive now what you're giving, because you're doing it with such humor, such joy. That's really what it is, the joy.
And that energy naturally exudes, and people are attracted to those things. So I can be, and I always tell people, I definitely mix the lessons. So I say, like, laugh and learn at the same time. So I could be telling you something serious, but you're gonna remember it, because I had this I did this women's event in Savannah, right? And one of the things I was talking about around confidence, right? And I was telling them about the poses, and people know about the superwoman pose and all that stuff. But I said my favorite is the pose that the victory pose,
Right.
where you have to put your hands up.
Yes,
So I make
yes.
people stand up and I'm like this, and I'm like, yeah, you've won. So like, make it fun, and make it interactive.
You did that.
Yes.
You own that. Yeah.
And I think when a lot of keynote speakers are speaking, they're lecturing you.
Yeah.
So this is how, and this is the 12 steps. Half the time
Yes.
people can't even remember 2 steps.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, and
it's-
putting them to sleep
right,
because they already heard it.
And right,
They've
putting-
already heard
putting
it.
people to sleep.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it is all the same thing.
Yeah.
But how much times you have someone going to tell you one thing and you heard it 50 different times, but
Yeah.
sometimes that one person
Yeah.
in how they deliver it,
Yeah.
all of a sudden is an aha moment for you.
Exactly. Yep.
Right? So it's all these things. So I definitely bring some joy, bring some humor. My authentic people always say, you're so authentic. You're open, you're vulnerable. You can't be telling someone 1 step or 2 steps and then you're not pouring out and telling your story. Also,
Right.
it's like connecting with people.
Yeah.
You want to be able to see you in them and they see them in you. Right.
Exactly. Exactly.
Damn,
I
I'm
think-
smart. What?
Oh God, where'd that come from? I told you she wrote a book, so we're gonna talk about that too soon.
Books.
She put it all in a book. But so yes, knowing that you have to present your authenticity not only in your knowledge but also in the way that you present it, so that people will be able to resonate with you and your story. People can tell when you lying and you just doing to do what you're doing just to get paid. They can see, yes, that they just do it because they got the education on it, or they did or took the right steps to get to that point, but they're not putting the love in it. They're not putting themselves in it so that people would want to connect with them.
Right, and it's robotic.
Exactly. It's very robotic. You're absolutely right. So knowing that you've had naysayers in the past that tell you should do this and maybe you should pull back a little bit. And when was that defining moment for you that I'm not going to listen to these people anymore and I'm just going to do it my way so that I can achieve what you're looking for?
So I'll say this. Look, so you all don't think I get up one morning, I'm like, I figure it out. Impossible. Some of these things takes weeks, months, years.
Yeah.
And that's why the growing is important. That's why listening to the right thing, reading the right things, putting yourself in the right environment. I think for me is when I started seeing results in being able to be myself. Okay. And being happy with those results because I did it. Like, where's the white guy? I did it my way. Okay.
Yes.
See, I'm showing like I'm that old. I heard that from my aunt. I wasn't even born yet.
I think that's Frank Sinatra.
Yes,
or somebody.
Frank Sinatra. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I think is when I start seeing results. And one of the biggest things I realized recently is sometimes when you're doing these little things, it's frustrating because I've had the times where I'm frustrated. I'm like, why am I doing this? No one is paying me attention. This is not working. I want to give up. Believe me, I always say we're our worst critic.
Yes, we are.
Sometimes people are way nicer on the outside than we are to ourselves.
Yes. Yep.
Right? But when you start to look back, like, what's the guy who founded Apple?
Steve Jobs.
Yes. So he said you kind of connect the dots going forward. You could only connect them going backwards.
Right.
So when you look back, and it's important that you pause in life at different intervals and look back and see how far you've come. Because while you're in it, most of the time we're not even present and you don't realize how far you've come. You're definitely not the same person you were last week. Definitely, hopefully not last year because you got a problem. But when I look back to my Toastmaster days, my, certain clubs being scared and slowly the growth.
Yeah.
I can hold a whole sentence.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yes. And you need to celebrate those moments.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And we don't do that.
We don't do that. No.
But that's a problem. Again, we all working on some things. I have this thing. Oh, yes, I got this. 2 minutes later, I'm like, on to the next. So that's something I do struggle with because again, growth might be a great thing, but I'm like, I need to grow tomorrow. I want to grow a whole branch and 10.
I know. Sometimes you do. You have to sit in it. Thank you. Yep.
Yes. And see, I'm still struggling.
Yes.
The pausing, So I'm like, okay, I did this. Celebrate. Take time for yourself.
Yes.
And even though, people talk about self-care. Okay, people, I ain't talking about the spa and getting some man to rub your foot, even though that would be really nice. Okay, I have no corns, just one bunion. But anyway.
She rubbing her leg up one of your Unity show.
In case anybody watching.
Children watching.
Close your eyes. But
you was the best. Go ahead.
But I even know, what was I saying?
You was talking about self-care.
Because I think as soon as people hear self-care, they think about vacation on the
Yeah,
beach. I'm like,
yeah.
calm it down. Those things are nice,
Right.
but just being quiet,
Yes.
just being with yourself,
Yeah.
just doing some breathing exercise, just doing some meditation,
Yes.
just time for you. You know, not the kids or nobody else, just time for you. That's self-care.
Yep.
So that's something definitely I'm working on now because I
Yeah.
need some of that.
No, that's good.
And some other
And I
self-care
tell you,
too.
yeah, because we'll talk about that's the other show. We'll talk about that. You could catch her on that show. But yes, you are so right. Self-care is definitely important, and fueling yourself, with something more than what you have to do, and just living in the moment of what you're doing right now. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's very, very hard. So meditation, as she mentioned, I think is very important. Spending some time with yourself, taking yourself on a walk, talk to God, do whatever you need to do, but taking care of yourself spiritually and emotionally is so important, because you will not be anything to anyone else if you're not whole.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You're really, really not. So I love that you say that. So what you give different is that you present everything with lightheartedness and humor. And I think that brings people in, because she's very, very funny, and it's natural. It's not like you're trying. She's not sitting up there writing up jokes, talking about, she reads the room and she takes it from there. So we're going to share with you later on how you can, book her for any hosting gigs you guys got out there. So let me ask you this, considering you're a powerhouse speaker, author, and coach, what were the obstacles that you had to go through? Because again, like you said, it took you a minute to get here. You had to go through the bumps and the bruises and the challenges. But what were the biggest obstacles to where you almost did give up and you didn't?
I think the number one thing would be myself. Because again, you start to look back from where you were. I'm from Trinidad. It's a small island. No one sees me. Let me just try to only do the 9 to 5. You want to be safe,
right?
Because anything that I'm trying to do, who do I think I am? So I think that's one of the obstacles. And again, when you tell certain people, they try to bring you down. So it's like, maybe I should stop. Maybe this is a dream. This doesn't happen, or whatever. So for that, I think it's number one, me, the circle I was around. I read a lot of those people. Okay?
I know, that's
Watch
right.
your
I hope you
circle,
watch
people.
it too. That's right.
Right. And I think this is not a negative, but a lot of times I said, I am not average. And I don't know how to be average. Now, if you're average, average is not a negative word. You want to go to work, complain about home. You want to come home, complain about work. That's a lot of people. I call it average because so many of us do it, right? And we do nothing to change it.
Yeah.
And I realized I couldn't be average. And obviously with all of this, I am not average.
That's right. She could never be average, my friend. She wasn't average even when she was going through this mess. You know what I'm saying? To get to where she is right now. You already knew it. You knew it. It was just a matter of, how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To realizing that everyone else sees it, because you already knew
that's
it.
That's one of the things, you see, like discovering your gifts. Because I never thought, oh, I'm so funny.
Yeah.
So sometimes you could discover your gift, but on people on the outside, girl, you funny. And I'm like, okay, no, I was just trying to tell you something that happened, because that used to scare me. I'm like, no,
I'm not trying to be funny, but thank you.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
but so that's people did that helped me to discover what some of my gifts were. With people and people tell it to you all the time.
Yeah.
We just take it for granted, right? So pay attention to what people tell you, where your gifts are, what you're naturally good at, without even having to think about it. And that's where you need to start.
Yeah, I love that, because that's so true. We already own so many talents and gifts within ourselves, and we just don't know what they are, because we don't think that we can make anything of ourselves from it. You know what I mean? Just speaking, being an encouraging person, you could be on the level that you are.
They said, use Oprah for instance. She liked to talk.
Yeah.
Who is Oprah now?
Yeah.
And that was for her just liking to have conversation.
Thank you.
That was a gift. I think people take these little things as in nothing that important.
Exactly.
You like to talk too much. Maybe you're supposed to be a lawyer. I don't know. Okay. You lie a lot. Lawyer again. See?
So everyone doesn't have to be an artist, play music, be a singer. It is that innate gift that you have. Like you said, an encouraging word, someone who likes to listen. You know what I mean? Take advantage of those things, capitalize on them, and maximize on them. And you can have a whole profession and live the gift that God gave you, you know what I mean? And make money from it as well, you know, because that's what's the important part, is that you actually not giving it away for free,
Yes.
you know? So speak to me about the confidence, because I know it has to take a lot for you to maintain just that energy that you have. And I know you probably, with your self-care, you have your moments when you're just sitting there and decompressing and doing all of that. But when you're out and about and people are expecting Miss Francois 2.0.
It's amazing you said that, because I was telling someone, oh my God, I am human. Because, okay, so I have my own talk show or whatever. And sometimes when people come
It
in.
ain't no whatever, but go ahead.
So when people come in as a guest, they're like, oh, Miss Francois. But I'm in a spirit, in a space where I have to think, I have to get myself ready. I have my paperwork, miking, all this thing going on in the studio. And I can't be like, hi, like, hey.
Can't be on 100 every time,
exactly.
right?
And I think that's not my problem, because I'm human.
Right.
That's other people's problem,
Right.
So you gotta adjust. It's different space, just like you say, read in the room. You know, so people need to understand that. Come on, okay. But when it comes to confidence, that's a continual. I don't want to say it's somewhat of a job, but it's something you have to keep working on.
Right.
And it's just little things. One of the biggest things for me is the things we say to ourselves.
Yes.
That's where it starts. It starts nowhere else, but with things that you say in your mindset, right? And that's why you have to be conscious of what you're reading, what you're listening to, because every day, how much time you stub your toe? Oh, I'm so stupid.
Yeah.
So some things are conscious, some things are so unconscious, and we do it every day. You make one little mistake, I could never get anything right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yes.
And that is in your subconscious.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, it's the number one thing. If you want to do the affirmations, I don't want to say one size I don't believe fits all, because you can see that in outfits, people. One size does not fit all. So affirmations might work to you, talking to yourself in the mirror. Me is just listening to something in the morning throughout the day that keeps me on a certain high.
Yes.
Okay. And again, according to the authors, I sometimes be like, yeah, I do look amazing. I can look like I just get up and brush my teeth. Well, I ain't got that much hair to comb. Then brush my hair. And I still say sexy,
fabulous. That's
I'm amazing inside and out.
Yes.
So once you believe it, that's where your confidence starts.
You're absolutely right. Because just like you could be your own worst critic, you need to be your own cheerleader as well. And you have to wake up with those affirmations, with those devotions that you are fabulous, you are amazing, you are incredible, you are beautiful, you are talented, you are the bee's knees. Like, you need to wake up. No, even if you don't feel it. And sometimes that's hard. And I know you have to own that too. There's days I'm sure you have that I'm like, I'm not in the mood. Please don't bother me. I'm not answering the phone.
Right.
You own that moment. You stay in that moment for just a little while.
And that's the problem I think we all have.
Yes.
It's 3 days later.
Yep.
Like you're in bed. Like, why?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, but again, I feel like when you know certain strategies, or you have a better understanding and you know yourself more, you get up even faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, there's nothing wrong with being down. You can see a lot. Then you know where you have to get up to go and what you're going to go do.
Yeah.
But just don't stay down too long.
I love that. You know, knowing that you've been around a lot of women and you do host a lot of women empowerment events, what do you find is the conversation? What are they most limited by? What are they most struggling with from what you gather?
I think it is partly confidence, because one of the conferences or the things that I was a part of, I remember this lady came up to me and she literally held my hand and she was rubbing it and she was whispering. She's like, oh my God, I'm so glad what you just said did so much. It touched me. And and she's like, you know, I struggle and I try. And I said, you just talking to me, even if it's 1% or 2%, I said, this is a change.
Yeah.
Because maybe before you might have sit down and be like, wow, I would talk to her, but I'm too scared.
Yeah.
And I think people forget those small steps.
Yes.
Right? So her just talking to me being able to just share something, you don't know. I don't believe in what difference a day make. I believe in what a moment makes.
Right.
A moment matters so much.
Yes.
You could say one sentence to someone and all of a sudden the light bulb comes out and your whole entire life changes.
Yes.
Like, if public speaking is like the second biggest fear in the world. And one of the things that helped me, Les Brown said something, And Les Brown has said, I love me some Les Brown.
Yes, Les Brown. He's been around for a long
right.
time.
And I always say to me, he's one of the first person. If you're starting out in anything in your personal journey, listen to Les Brown because he doesn't drop anything heavy. All he does is tell stories.
Stories, yes.
Because, Bob Proctor and stuff is next level stuff. So, start small. But Les Brown is for everybody. But one thing, simple thing he said is, what's the worst could happen?
Exactly.
Right? And I said, and one of the things he said, well, you're going to die? I saw there's many times people will be shocked. For me, before I come out on stage, I want to pee a little, like so nervous, your stomach, and like, do I want to use the toilet? Yeah. Should I go? Do I have enough time to? Oh my God, right? Because people's like, you? Yes. Right? But then I said, what is the worst to happen? I'm going to die?
Yeah.
And then I just get up and give it 100%. And your 100%, even if you're feeling at 50, that 50 of 50 is 100%, okay?
Yeah.
I might be a little off on math, but you know what I mean.
Yes, depending on where you are.
Yes.
That little bit is a whole lot.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think people is like, oh, I got to be here.
No.
Once you know whatever 100%, you put your all into that at that time, and that's all you need.
Yeah.
And again, you're going to continue to level up because I leveled up.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. And it only took a few short steps, my friend. She was already there. Like I said, she just needed it to come out and breathe it and live it every day because it was already in you. It really was. Like you have no idea how much I love this woman. And only because, yes, the first time you was on this show and she didn't give a sad story, but she did. She told us, how she came here from, what is it? Trinidad, Tobago. I messed up the word Tobago. And yes, and she, you remember that?
Disrespectful. Or the Trinidadian and Tobago.
She came here looking for a better life and nobody was supporting her. So tell me, how are you making that change? You came here, no one was here to support you. How are you supporting others?
That's the biggest thing. And I think a lot of times when we get into like something like speaking and serving others is, again, it's always because of what your story was.
Yeah.
Because when I see other people, sometimes I have to stop myself because I'm like, oh, how can I help her? How can I? But no, the one thing I would say, when I see other people wanting to help themselves, I guess there's somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
It have somebody that go help that person from the ground. I ain't got the patience, people. I know myself. Okay. But if I see someone really struggling and they want for themselves, that's definitely, I can be a support.
I love that.
And it's a good feeling because how much time somebody see someone, oh my God, I remember that when that was me, when I did not come here and you had the accent and you don't understand and you're saying cucumber instead of cucumber. And so I always remember that transition. How traumatic it was. So I try to make it easier for other people.
Yeah.
And sometimes you, just like we were talking about, you don't know who is watching.
Yeah.
Some of these people, okay, I obviously, I age well, but it's nice when someone can call you and be like, remember, first at half the time, I don't remember what I say, but remember 10 years ago. And I'm like,
yep.
But you don't know who life you're touching.
Yes.
Someone is like, I remember they were 18 and now they did their master's degree and it's like, you encouraged me. Aww. You don't know. And that stuff, even this girl, God knows what I told her when we were working together. She invited me to her wedding.
Right.
And we haven't worked together maybe 15 years.
Wow.
But she remembered. She's like, remember when you used to encourage me and tell me this? And I ended up being a teacher. So those things touch you. I was like the only Black person there among all the Asians.
Oh my God. But that was your gift
awesome
even back then and you didn't even know.
Isn't that crazy? That's why I say connect those dots. And when you go through things in life, it's a reason.
Yes.
When you're going through it, it doesn't feel like a reason, people.
It doesn't.
Right?
It doesn't.
But when you look back, you're like, so that's why that man left me. And that's why my mother said,
yep.
And that's,
they're all lessons.
And you're so grateful. Well, when you make it, of course.
Yes.
But when you're going through it, ain't nobody go, girl, don't worry, better days are coming. What? I want the day to be good today.
Oh my God.
I avoid those people.
Well, how do you shift them out of that? Because so many women, they're going through the heartbreak, the self-doubt, the low self-esteem. Again, you showing up all fabulous, it has to dim them a little bit. You know what I mean? Your light will definitely blind them.
That's why I ain't got a man, because
You know
I'm
what I'm
blinding them.
saying? You are blinding. You blinded me, girl, and it's my show. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, how do you help them through that heartbreak? Because again, you're supporting these women. For those out there that are watching, that are going through something, that have that self-doubt, that don't recognize their talents, that don't understand their greatness, that don't know how to walk in their power.
Oh, I like how you like point. Okay, so remember in the beginning you were saying about being down.
Mhm.
Okay, so even in one of the books, right? Hey, you're going to have to get that pint of ice cream. You're going to have to cry. You're going to have to tell a few people the stories. And I think a lot of times for example, your friends, girl, that's what he did. Let's put on that best dress.
Yes.
Girl, we're gonna have him whatever dress they want to call it. You know the best way to get over is to get under.
Yes.
And all that, maybe you might go through that phase. I hope you don't, because you could end up with some kind of disease. But it's like you need to go through certain phases. And I think sometimes people want to be like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't need him. Really, all of a sudden when so I think we don't take time to go through our emotions and try to understand it. And I mean, it's a lot of steps to go through those things. We're not going to count the steps, 5 steps, 10 steps, and some of those steps you mightn't even need.
Yeah.
Right? But it's really being in the moment, experiences, you're down, you're sad, and at the same time being able to take responsibility.
Yes.
Right? Because who do we blame most of the time when something happens? Well, he said, or whatever. Sometimes it had a big, not even a red flag, a big red brick. And you all ignored it. Well, you know what? The reason he didn't text and he didn't call and he didn't show up to my birthday party is because no. So some of these things is our responsibility.
Yes.
So just like it's your responsibility to see signs, it's your responsibility for your own healing.
Yep.
You can't, this closure thing, we need to get over that. Okay.
Yeah,
That's a whole 2-hour story.
Yes, yeah, she'll be back to discuss that. So as she mentioned, she's got a few books here, my friend. Let that no signs says a whole bunch of signs and signals here. Let That Man Go. So tell us about this book and what inspired you to write this.
Because I need to let my man go.
You did.
And the reason that people always ask for the symbol. So it's let that man go. But the reason those are there is because when you experience a breakup, you don't go, yay, let that man go. You angry. Let that stupid man. Let that. When you want to curse, you're angry. It's like for you to vent. So I want you to shout it and just feel it in the moment. And this is a mixture of, and it's honestly because of the stuff I've been through. Right. Beside that, you know, when we're girls, we have a girl session and we all talking about breakups.
Yeah.
So it's real life experience, thinking about all the people we talk to, people experience, and it's everywhere. And being able to see what has helped a lot of people and just taking like the top 5+ steps and put them in a book to help you on that journey. And I always tell people, this is always just a stepping stone. Just because you read this, it doesn't solve everything, but it's going to start you somewhere.
Yeah. And that's where people need to be sometimes, is just to start somewhere and not just to sit up there and sit in the pain and sit in the anger and all those things. You have to eventually take it for what it is, and you have to push forward past it, but learn from other people's experiences, because 9 times out of 10, someone else has gone through exactly what you've gone
Stop
through.
feeling you're that special. You're special, but you're not that special.
Exactly. You're not
the first person he left, and it might be the last person that left you.
Exactly.
Either.
And maybe, and I'm not even going to say maybe, half the time it is a blessing
that
they left.
Because you should have seen that guy. He gained a lot of weight and he ain't looking too good now. So I did that.
He wasn't for you in the first place.
Amen,
and you just held on to him because you were stuck in who you are.
Sister.
You know what I mean?
It's not Sunday, but we'll do this.
I'm just saying, it is so true. Now, her next book is Women Building Empires. Tell me a little about what this is.
So about this, right? So if in the back of the book, you see a bunch of amazing women that came together and wrote this, because everybody have a different story. And by sharing your story, you're able to help others. So again, we're entrepreneurs. We have a dream, we have a vision for ourselves, but we don't know how to execute. So these are some strategies that they can start on that journey to get themselves. And my chapter is just about more networking.
Okay.
Like walking in a room and nobody care about you. No one sees you. And it's ways to get in the room and things to say and just to show up a certain way,
Right.
and you'll have people knocking down your door.
That's right. And that is so true. It's really about you walking into, taking the step to walk into the room first. Everyone deserves a seat at that table. Everyone deserves to be in that room. It's just you having the confidence to live in that moment and believe in what you have to say and what you have to give, right?
You sure you don't have a chapter in that
I'm
book?
saying that's what I was going to say. I see a whole bunch of women back here. I'm going to have to be in the next one, the part 2. You know what I mean? Now, the next book is Lights, Camera, Launch. What is this about? Kickstarting your own professional
the funny
TV
thing,
show.
this is my first book. Like when I was doing my TV show, the Miss Francois show, where we use humor to help others with the dysfunctional relationship, I was frustrated. It was so much work. The set design, clothes. Remember, I'm multi-talented and super sexy.
Yes.
So outfits. If someone has a book, I had to read the whole book. It was my show. I always, you see how the aesthetics and all that stuff. So all these things, top of the line, all these things. It's just a lot.
It's a lot.
Here's your own marketer, your PR person, your branding person.
Yeah.
It's so much that goes, and people just say, "Oh, it's a 30-minute segment." No, that 30 minutes took like 2 weeks.
Thank
to
you.
Plan.
Yeah.
Okay, but people don't see the behind the scenes stuff. And when I was frustrated, I had a coach that I was talking to at the time, Shazmin. She's amazing. I love me some Shazmin.
Hi, Shazmin.
And she was like, "Why don't you just write a book?"
I love that.
And I said, "That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard." Because first thing I'm thinking, I can't write no book. Girl, I wasn't that good in English. What kind of stuff? But again, one little thing sparked something in me. And when I got off the phone, I was like, "I write a book. I ain't writing a book. I can't even spell properly."
You stop.
Right? And then I remember talking to my confidant, Quentin. I am that. I went it over with him. And this is why you have to have the right people in your circle. He didn't say, "Oh, write a book." He just asked me to repeat stuff. So it was asking questions, right? And ask the right question. He's like, "Okay, well, do you do this? Do you do that behind the scenes? Tell me all the things you do."
Right.
And I'm telling him all the things I do. And he's like, "You think everyone knows how to do that?"
Exactly.
And I'm like,
you see?
No.
Thank you.
And then he goes, "So what you gonna do?" I'm like,
write this book. That's right. Write this book.
But you see the right people in your life. You know, if you had told the wrong person, they're like, "Yo, you never write no book. You ain't no writer."
Exactly.
Right? So having a coach like Shazmin, having a mentor, having a confidant like Quentin can change the game.
I love that. I love that. Did you write this book during COVID, after
this
COVID?
Was exactly during COVID.
Because that was my question. Everyone was building a podcast, speaking.
And think about it. That was,
you know,
it had sad things, but so many things blossomed during COVID. Because I would have never thought of writing any book.
Yeah.
And I am super proud, like, because once it's your first one, I'm super proud. So if you want to write, if you want to do a TV show, if you want to do a podcast, I put all the things in there, and you could do it in a dynamic way with barely using any money. And people it's one of the taglines that says kickstart your own professional TV show by investing in the me in team. Everyone gonna tell you there's no I in team, but there's a me and you have to start somewhere. You start with you and the right people you're gonna attract. Your energy is gonna attract these people. So just start and you'll be surprised of what happens.
That's right. You just gotta at least start. Just put towards the effort. Step into your power. That's the title of the show today. I hope that you guys are learning something from this amazing woman. I also want to know, you started Thriving Goddesses. What is that about? What inspired you to start that? And
so it's mainly the whole thing that encompasses who I am, right? And the things I've been through. Well, a lot of times when in relationship, and even though I focus on relationship, you know, that union, it could be almost any relationship when you think about it. Sometimes you're in a friendship and you lose yourself because you're doing for that person. It's all about that person and you lose yourself. You forget the things you wanted to do. You forget the things you love to do because you're following that person, right? So I said, I feel like we lose our self-identity. So when, especially you're in a relationship, when you lose that, when you come out of that relationship, it takes a while for you to figure out, what was I doing? What did I like? What was my dreams? What was my goals? Because you put it on the back burner because you were only focusing on that other person. And as women especially, we focus on everything and everyone else except yourself. You leave yourself for last. And when a relationship ends and you're devastated, all of a sudden, that's when you see it. So this whole group is to just encourage women that before you step into the next chapter of your life, make sure you regain that self-confidence, that self-identity, because we lose it. Right. And the whole group, I have like webinars in there.
Okay.
You know, and you never know, someone else might say something in the group that resonate with someone, because we all been through different things in our life, different timing, different spaces, different relationship, mom to stage, you know, so different stages, and we all can help each other.
Yeah.
And we're goddesses.
Yep, we are goddesses. You are absolutely right, my friend. So this is for women to basically uplift them, encourage them, empower them, strengthen
especially
them.
when you're coming out of a relationship.
A relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. So a
You need
lot
to
of
find
single,
yourself,
okay, you need to find yourself. I love that. How is your dating going? What's going
Well, I
on?
went
Not
on
to
a
be
date yesterday.
okay.
Because you can't be saying these things and not putting yourself out there.
Yes.
So again, we all struggle with certain things. There are moments when I'm like, I don't want nobody bother me. I don't want to see nothing. Right. But when the weather starts to get real nice, I was like, I kind of want to hold hands. I want to walk in the park like, how you doing? Oh my God, your eyes are beautiful.
I love
you see, I'm looking up, right? So you have to be over.
Yes, you have to be real. Yes.
Right. Okay.
I like that.
Tall. Yeah. Tall. Right. So I went on a date. So I'm proud of myself. I'm putting myself back out there, because people are like, oh my God, oh, you ain't got a man. Like, oh my God. That's just a whole other thing. Like you go through life.
Yes.
You know, certain things happen. There's times I take a break. And again, I don't want to just take anybody.
Yes.
I didn't get this far to pick up anything just to say I have a husband.
That's right.
And I see a lot of my friends, you all know who you are. You all are not happy.
That's right. And miserable relationships, people who are staying with the person just because they have the person.
Right. I got a husband.
Exactly.
Yeah, ain't nobody
and
else
ain't
wants
no
him,
love,
honey.
and there's no love there whatsoever. So I totally get that. And you're going to wait for that perfect person. And God has that person
and
for
I don't
you.
think you should wait this long to just end up after this time.
Yeah,
but
after
I
this
just
time.
pick him up when I was 25.
God. That's what I said to my friends. Some of my friends, and you know who you are, that I say that they're willing to settle right now because, you know, you're tired, you're 50 years old. It's exhausting. But why settle when you've put that much work into yourself? With someone that you wouldn't settle with at 25 and 30 years old. You know who you are now. You know what you've accomplished.
Natalie?
You know what I mean? You're so stupid. You know who you are. You know what you're capable of. You know how intelligent and beautiful you are. Why settle for something less than?
And even in relationship, people say, oh, you're still too much, you need to dial it down. Look, that just means I'm not right for you. But he's out there right now, he's watching this television program. Call me 555. Okay.
1212. You are so silly. Well, we are winding down in time, and I want to get all the information about everything that you have going on out there. So I understand you have a downloadable book. What is that about?
7 mistakes women make that keep them stuck. Okay. See, so that's stuck. That's one of the things that just keep. So it's again, and we all make it. So I'll give you like 2 quick examples.
Okay.
Right? A guy could text us. He could just say, hey, see you later. What does that mean?
Yep. Yes.
Later, as in later in the next minute. Why you call me? Is that tomorrow? So sometimes we do too much.
Yes.
And that's the other thing too. So we go from analyzing texts to, okay, let me call Shelly Ann. Yeah. Let me call Brenda. What do you think the text says?
Yes.
You know? So now you're finding therapists that didn't go to no schooling because all your friends is therapists. So like two separate things. Stop analyzing text. Stop calling 10 of your friends to get. They ain't even got no man themselves. How are you going to help them? How are they going to help you?
Yeah.
So it's like things that keep us stuck, stressed.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
And so you can, once you go on my website, mssfrancois.com, the pop-up going to come up on the top. You just download it. It's a free downloadable.
You could put that up again, Carmine.
You're welcome.
Yes, you guys check that out. You can download it. That is the link for it. And I want to know before we go, what do you want to leave us women with? What kind of word do you want to put into our spirit today?
You know what I'm going to say? Because recently I got for Toastmasters, right? If you don't know what Toastmasters is, please look it up. It helps you with public speaking. It's an amazing organization. It has something called accredited speaker, which is the highest level of Toastmasters, right?
Wow.
There's only 95 accredited speakers in the world. Just to put that into perspective, in 149 clubs, for 149 countries, there's over 14,000 clubs with over 364,000 members.
Wow.
And only 95 accredited speaker. And I am going to be one of those people that get a chance to become number 96.
I love that.
So that is huge. You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, all I want to leave today is something like we've been talking about. Whatever it is that you want to do, whatever is in your heart, you feel it, you're convicted, start.
Yes.
I don't want to hear, where do I start?
Yeah.
Start.
Yes.
You could get a book on it. You could ask a friend. You could Google it.
Yes.
Oh my God, the computer.
Yes.
We have Chat GPT. We have AI.
Yep.
Work with it instead of working against it.
Yes.
Start
somewhere.
Okay, remember Miss Francois said so.
I love it. I love it. Well, we're going to put up your information, you beautiful lady. Thank you so much for being here. Thriving Goddesses, as you see, that is the email address and the QR code. So if you want to keep it up for a second, you guys, please put your camera there and check her out. Thriving Goddesses, if you're going through something, if you need to be empowered, uplifted, strengthened within yourself, please reach out to her. And then we have her hosting and event speaking. What?
Yes,
motivational speaking.
Yes, motivational speaker. I do something called comedic monologues, which is just, again, lessons and laughter at the same time. And that's like a 10 minutes thing that I do for a lot of different events.
Right.
And that pays very well.
I love it. You can follow her on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at MISS_Francois. Exactly. And please go to her website as well, www.missfrancois.com. Thank you so much, beautiful, for being here.
Welcome.
I love you. You gotta come back. I'm so serious.
This was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So we're gonna get real quick to the Dare to Be You. And it is: dare to step boldly into your power. Dare to own your voice, your dreams, your greatness. No more hiding, no more shrinking. The world needs the unstoppable force that is you. So rise up, stand tall, and shine bright. And that's exactly what me and the beautiful Miss Francois has shared with you today. I need you to go out there and get your life, my friends. I need you to step in your power. I need you to own your greatness. I need you to nourish whatever hurts you've had, any challenges or obstacles that you've had to face. I need you to look at them, stare them down, and walk past them fearlessly. I need you to know and realize who you are and whose you are. And I also want you to have a good night. Thank you so much, Miss Francois, for being here. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another fabulous episode of Your Our Unity. Please remember that peace and love is in the palm of our hands. So let's go out there and be some love, share some love, and just walk in love. I will see you guys in 2 weeks. I want you to have a wonderful evening. Please remember that I love you and have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.